This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday with DivyanshRehab. Today we have gathered with a chat show whose purpose is primarily for the professionals of audiology and speech language pathology. Today our topic of discussion is how to write a curriculum vitae. Our purpose today is to share essentials of curriculum vitae writing with focus primarily on actual traits and potentials of the candidates, dropping jargons and debunking myths. For this, we have a very premier guest today, Dr. Vijay Kumar. Very welcome, sir. Dr. Vijay Kumar,
Thank
sir.
you.
Dr. Vijay Kumar sir is Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Audiology and Speech Language Pathology, Amity, Gurgaon. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, as a part of the recruiting team, what basically is your observation on curriculum vitae which are submitted by the applicants? If you kindly tell
Okay.
about it.
This is such an area which is very close to me, and my experience on this topic is such like last 12 years. I'm reviewing the CV of various candidates, those who try to apply here. And besides this, as a candidate also, a couple of times, I need to work on my own CV, and I have received some feedback from the people around me and wherever I have applied. I was surprised to know that there are some experts who are really dedicated, who work on building up someone's CV. The problem is that we don't reach out to such people, and sometimes this takes our own negligence on these things. What we do, we always try to make our CV towards the nth moment when I need to submit to somewhere and when I'm supposed to or forced to submit my CV, which is not the right approach. CV is such a thing which is ongoing process. So whenever any major academic or professional milestones you have achieved, you need to update your CV, and that is the right way to work on those things. So in the opening remarks, I'll say over last 12 years, around 100 or over 100 CVs I have reviewed it. And my personal opinion is that out of those over 100 CV, less than 1% CV that really impressed me. Rest of the CV that hardly impressed me or the team here at the team here at Amity. So based on those feedback, I'll say that we need to seriously have a look on our own CV and what happens like any place whenever I'm applying or someone is applying. First, we send our own CV. So CV that is in defecto our own representation. We should make it more comprehensive and compact so that the chances of shortlisting of CV will be increased if my CV is more comprehensive.
Great, sir. So often we have seen that we get a bit confused with two terms, that is CV and resume. Can you throw light on it? What is the difference, basic difference?
There are three terms like CV, resume, biodata, always sometimes interchangeably we use it. So to make it clear, like professional, which is more professional, better to say curriculum vitae or CV, that is the more authentic or more scientific. It is the professional representation of an individual, and that includes both academic, professional, all the things. While when we say resume, it is the short or very brief one of my entire or for someone's entire professional journey. And biodata that includes both like personal and the professional details of the person. So whenever we are applying for any job or we are trying to do some collaboration or sometimes in the academic environment, like many times you have to submit your CV, either you are going to get the PhD candidate or some writing for proposal or some book or any scientific activity. So every time you need to submit your CV, I'll say. So CV is more technical and it is more comprehensive, especially the professional details and professional achievement of a person, those are included.
True, sir. Okay. And while listening to you, I was also thinking we always wonder how long it should be. It should be very broad, or one page would do. How do you look at it as a recruiter?
As I said in the opening remarks, like when we say CV or curriculum vitae, so long or short, that doesn't matter. And a person should include each and everything, whatever you feel. it is relevant, professionally achieved by you. So length doesn't matter, and any significant achievement of your career, like someone presentation, some good publication, some presentation, some achievement of maybe getting joining a FDP or some short-term, long-term training, anything it should be included. So long or short, that should not be the criteria as long it is relevant. Suppose someone has done 200 publications, so you can't be very selective to choose the first 50 publication or publication which are highly, which is in Scopus or maybe the top highly the publication with high impact factor. That should not be the criteria. So include all the academic achievement, professional achievement, what you think it is relevant for you, and it should impress the person who is reviewing your CV.
Yes, sir.
Only one thing I'll caution, like just for the length, we should not include non-relevant things also. So non-relevant thing, sometimes it is going to work, it is going to misfire also. So non-relevant information, no one has time to go through unrelevant things.
So coming to the next question is what to include in the CV and what to be excluded from the CV. You can throw us light.
Okay. So the first thing is that we need to know the purpose, like for which purpose I'm going to present my CV. So making CV, it should be more dynamic, like based on the need, based on the occasion, you need to customize your CV. So the most important thing when I'm reviewing someone's CV or knowing that if I'm applying for a job, that also is academic in nature. So professional experience, educational background, the research and publications, professional affiliations or collaborations. So these things are the highlighting. Highlight your positive part. Suppose someone has teaching experience or clinical experience or supervision experience. So whatever experience you have, highlight your own stuff and make sure that you are going to present yourself in such a way so that you can impress the person who are going to review your CV.
Okay, so is there a chronological pattern in writing our experiences? Should we follow a pattern, new one first and then the older ones? How is it?
Obviously, like suppose I am reviewing someone's CV, I'm not interested in which area someone has worked, maybe 10 years before or 20 years before.
Right.
If I'm reviewing someone's work, I'm more interested to know what is the current research area or what is the current area where someone is working, so that I can think, I can plan the further research or further research or other sort of collaborations.
Right, sir.
Same time, if someone has, keeping the list of the earlier done work, that also justify that. Suppose if I have some common area where someone already has worked, so it gives the potential link where the common area could be identified and it could be worked further.
Great, sir. That's a very good piece of information, sir. And so, do you think that we can use the latest technologies like AI, artificial intelligence? There are a lot of softwares. How are you going to advocate it, or how are we going to see it?
See, the most important stuff is that the content, any technology you use, that will help you to maybe the orientation, formatting, these things should be done, could be improved using latest technology or any other device. But most important is what work you have done till now. So keep working the areas which is worth sharing, and if it is worth sharing, include in your CV. Most of the time, you see that more than 90% CV are not well formatted, which is a real concern. So in that case, use of technology or use of some of the experts, hardly you see that we are reaching out to the experts for their feedback on your own CV. So these sort of practice we need to advocate and we need to do it so that we can make our CV more impressive.
And if someone is a fresh graduate, he is yet to get some experience, how should he or she portray his CV to make it a mark?
Okay, see, it doesn't matter whether someone is fresh graduate or someone may be applying for the vice chancellor of the university. What work experience you have, highlight your own stuff. So what are the things if I'm reviewing a CV of undergraduate students to see that if suppose apart from doing the BSLP regular activity, that's one thing. If someone has done any research paper, any ISHA paper, or even some sort of model making or presentation in their own during undergrad days. Suppose someone has done clinical conference, highlight those parts itself. Someone has attended some webinar conferences, so highlight those things in details. Or someone has received some certificate for attending or presenting a paper in a small conferences, maybe at the university level, maybe the state level or interstate level. So all these informations are worth. There are many occasions where even during undergrad days, students are involved in various clubs and they are supposed to be the leader of their own clubs. So those things should be highlighted so that these things highlights or these things indicates the leadership ability of a student and how he could be groomed or he could fit into into the team where he's applying for.
Great. And do referrals help? Should we ourselves start putting referrals, or we should wait for the recruiter to ask for the referrals?
I didn't get to what. Could you repeat it?
Many a time, many recruiters ask for referrals, recommendations from some professionals who knows you better. So we should always put it as a default, or we should wait for the recruiter to ask for it?
It's always good that it's always advisable if you are able to write to add some of the referees for your CV. It's always good one. So make sure that referees, they should really know you well, so, and there are the contact number in the CVs and the email. So most of the time, if there are these details, they can directly dial you. They can directly dial the referees, and there should be good bonding, good understanding, and always everyone appreciates the reliable information, accurate information rather than being highly euphemistic information. So that is not required. So adding referees in the CV, that's always good, but make sure that you have earned your reputation in the eyes of the referees before he recommend you. It's not should be that if the same referees are over more than 100,000 students and is giving the same sort of feedback for every student. So we should we should avoid those things. Add only those referees where you have worked directly. It could be your maybe the undergrad teacher, some supervisor who has guided you during the work, or maybe the master's dissertation guide. So gradually, this is the hierarchy. If I'm working, so my immediate HODs, directors, or head of the institution, so they are the best referees.
Yes, sir. So someone like, as you said, if someone is a vice chancellor also and applying for a curriculum vitae, but he has a robust experiences and robust, comprehensive things to portray. So how can people who have experience like 15 years, 16 years, just compact their CV so that it is not a boredom for the employer also?
Okay, categorization, that is the key. See, suppose from undergrad, we talked about what are the component I should look forward in an undergrad CV. Same way, suppose if I'm in the review committee where we have to shortlist the CV for the vice chancellor. So we'll see that what are various components. So from the to review the CV of vice chancellor, teaching and other activity may not be that important. His past experience, whether he has any administrative experience of the past, and if he has some administrative experience, what was the magnitude of that institution? So maybe someone handling an institute of 200 students compared to someone who has handled an institute of over 20,000 students. And his tenure, his major achievement during the previous tenure, what was those major achievement, and major strategy, what are the plan and vision to address in the for the fresh job, what someone is looking forward. So these are the areas should be highlighted. The ability to collaborate, ability to lead, ability to manage the campus. So these are the skill set compared to the number of presentations, publications, or hours of teaching. Those skills may not be required for a person who's applying for the highest job in the university setup.
It's a good, very good piece of information, sir. And that is the takes me to my next question, which is say that do we need to every time tailor-made our CV while applying for different jobs, or we should have one default CV with us?
Definitely, yes. The first option that is advisable, like suppose one simple example I'll give you. Suppose I'm applying for a book to be editor of a book, and the core area where I have highlighted, suppose that is speech science. So all my publications which are in language or some other domain that are non-relevant for that one. So highlighting the own area that makes sense. So customizing your CV for the specific job or skill set where you are looking forward, that is the right one. But same time, like too much changing your CV, that is also not advisable. Suppose you have done diversified type of work, or the nature of your work experience that is more diversified. So for one specific occasion, you can't make it streamlined. That will be not that will be some sort of ethical violation also. But setting the priority. Suppose I'm applying for a job where it is research that is the focus. So I can prioritize like the issues which are research dominated. I can prioritize. I can keep it the top, so that I want like the reviewer should get more focus on those areas compared to the other occasion where I'm applying for the clinical sort of job. So the amount of clinical supervision hours or directly I'm involved in the clinical practice. So those things should be highlighted, or the successful stories of the clinical training or clinical monitoring, those should be highlighted. So depending on the job, like where I'm applying or what type of job I'm looking forward, that way I need to customize, or I need to remodify my CV.
True, sir. Very true. Understood. And
I'll add one more point, that do you think that customization takes lots of time? It's not time exhaustive, it's just the mindset related issue. Like first we need to understand that is it required? How it is going to make the difference? First we start asking these questions to ourselves. The time and the logistic, all those issues that goes out of the frame.
it's worth it, right, sir? Because now the time is gone that people could be recruited by word of mouth. There should be some documentation of what works and your achievements, which will set you apart, right, sir?
Yes. So was there some question? There is something I missed it here.
So I think to start with, we have covered everything, starting from if we are amateur and just freshly graduated to someone who is an expert, how to make a curriculum vitae. I know it is never enough with you because this is something very introductory and it needs to be highlighted. We would like to hear more of you, and ladies and gentlemen, this was Dr. Vijay Kumar sir, guiding you how to write curriculum vitae from his point of view. He would also be associated in terms of blog writing, and you can connect to him through the DivyanshRehab Academy. And you will have the link below the button. Kindly share and like us so that we can share every Friday. We'll come up with new topics. And one thing more is cover letter. There are many companies which ask for cover letters. How important are they? Today, we are not going to deal it, but again, we will be back with sir again to deal with the topic of cover letter, how important it is. Thank you. Signing off.
Thank you so much, sir. And
Thank
thank
you,
you
sir.
for raising this topic, which is very important. Sometimes we don't give too much attention on this one, but I sincerely urge every professional to CV that is in defecto, that what you are presenting yourself or it presents yourself in your absence. So it's worth giving more attention and make it more comprehensive, more presentable, and by doing so, you will increase the chances of your CV to get shortlisted, and it will help you to fulfill the dreams and to fulfill the opportunities what you are looking for. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.